All right, here we are. Welcome, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. I feel like we need to get a theme song, Brandon.
I know. We started working on that, but
I know.
we
Not a
spend all of our
priority.
time in here, like creating important content instead of
Yeah.
coming up with theme songs.
Fun little theme song is not a priority. Although it doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter.
Let's get moving. Let's get moving.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Taco Tuesday. This is where it's a weekly talk we do every Tuesday because we like tacos. Where we discuss, fitness, mental health, good food, and everything in between and on the outsides of those things. I am Nick. I am a nutritional specialist, I guess, personal trainer, a restorative movement specialist as well. And I also have a huge passion for psychology and mental health and how the mind, body, and spirit all ties together to create who we are. And this is Brandon.
I'm Brandon. Hi, everyone. I'm also a personal trainer and a coach, a physical therapist assistant, and a fitness nutrition specialist. If you haven't met us yet, thanks for the introduction, Nick.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, last week we did a workshop based on de-stressing and gaining back some control, and so that you can have like energy to do things and feel good. And it's, maybe you felt some anti-inflammation, maybe you felt some pain go away, maybe you felt motivation, right? That's what the whole workshop was based was for, right? And so yesterday I spent a fair bit of time, and this morning I've spent a fair bit of time diving in and asking some of the participants of that workshop what they thought. And it really seemed like, Brandon, it really seems like everybody's really happy with it, which is very fulfilling to me. I know we had a lot of participants.
We had
didn't get a lot of feedback.
So much feedback. We had so many people participating. And actually I was gonna get in there and drop a couple questions. I want to know how many people are still doing those things and have plugged those things into their lives. So, if you happen to be with us watching this, then, drop that because I think it was really, really valuable. It was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience for me on the other side of it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I got a lot of feedback on a lot of things, but also, because I did that 60-second reset, I was pretty nervous going into that because I really wasn't sure what the outcome was going to be for everybody. But it seemed like everybody I spoke to anyway enjoyed it. So, but like I said, I haven't really been able to get to everyone, and I would still like to have some feedback because, that's how we create new and exciting things moving forward.
Right.
And I'm still playing catch up. So
no worries.
For anybody I didn't get a chance to talk to, I'm curious, what did you think? Was it helpful? Do you need more of it? Let us know so that we can come up with more, because honestly, I think that's what fuels us. That's what fuels me, right, Brandon?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we're always looking for ways to, make these things even more valuable. And that's how we do it, by getting feedback. So yeah, it was a great experience. And if you didn't check that out, look back in our episodes. That was just last week.
Yeah. Or you know what else you could do? You could just say, hey, I want to see the link to that. Like send me to the stress challenge because we saved them all, and I'll send you the links to it.
So just ask us. But anyway, let's get on to our topic today.
Yep.
Let's get in there. So what are we doing? What are we doing today?
So our goal, as always, with these talks is to provide, high value information, lessons, and then provide actions, things that you can actually do to put yourself in the right direction.
Right.
So I think a couple of days ago, I asked the question, what food can you never get sick of or fill up on, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't answer it myself because it's a really tough question for me because I like so many foods. But I did see two answers that really stuck out for me. I think Autumn said watermelon, and I know you hate this, Brandon, but watermelon is my absolute favorite fruit.
Totally,
And Brandon and I
totally.
have argued about this. And then
Those are,
Lindsay,
yeah,
yeah,
those
dude.
are interesting answers, right? What was Lindsay's answer? You didn't give me that one. Sorry.
Lindsay's was boiled peanuts,
Oh,
which
okay.
when I was in South Carolina, I don't know, a few months back, I had my first experience of boiled peanuts, and
Big one.
it's amazing. I couldn't
So
total
those
life
are like, those are kind of the less common ones, right? Like those
definitely.
aren't, you don't hear that too often, but
I
yeah.
know, I
I
know.
mean, I
But
know
for me,
those are
to
big
get through
favorite
it,
foods,
right?
definitely. But
But
usually
typically,
like, what are those foods that like
yeah,
you just can't stop eating, right? I think
I
that's
know.
what you were trying to get at with the question, right?
Yeah, yeah. So typically, and what we saw a lot of was pasta,
Yeah,
rice,
yeah,
bread, pizza,
yeah.
a lot of things with sugar, which I also heavily relate to. I have a sugar problem. It's true. Um, and like myself, I can eat all of these things for like forever. It seems like, and it just doesn't seem to fill me up.
Yeah, you never get
And
full.
so why is that, right? Why is that? If a calorie is a calorie, why do some foods make us full? And why do others, there is no getting sick of it. There is no getting full. We can just keep shoving it in there like we're a freaking steam shovel.
Right.
And, sure, there's a level of joy that comes from some of those foods, but
Yeah, we're
um,
gonna talk about that a little bit.
yeah. And, but I think it comes down to a basic science, even beyond that. And our bodies are designed to digest certain things and not so much of other things. And I think
Yeah.
we can all agree on that, right? So, I'm going to let you take over and dive into some of the science behind it.
Cool.
So can you
Cool.
give us a little clarity? Why do we get full off some foods and not off of others?
So yeah, like before I get like, yeah, too sciencey. I want to know what other like I'd like to hear even more. I want to know what some of those foods are for people. I want to hear more of that. If you're watching right now, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Like, what's that food that just never fills you up?
I
Um,
thought Maria just jumped in. She said corn and cheese in all forms.
corn and cheese in all forms. I like
Now,
it.
Maria, is
Yeah,
that blended together, corn and cheese, or is that, like I've
interesting.
had a pretty good corny cheese dip, whatever, it doesn't matter.
um, so yeah, let's jump in. So starting with that fact that you just said, right? That we are designed to eat certain foods. Okay, obviously that also means that we're not designed to eat other things. Right? So when we eat foods that we wouldn't find in nature, so we're talking about like refined and processed foods. So, things that perhaps started in nature at some point, and then we have either chemically or mechanically changed them drastically, right? Our bodies don't know what to do with them, and so that includes our brains. Our brains don't know how to respond, and that's really what this is about for the most part. We tend to think of fullness, right, as a message that comes directly from our stomach, right? And that can happen, but it's really not supposed to, right? That like being painfully full, that
Right.
is coming from your stomach's baroreceptors, right? Responding to pressure of actually being crazy full, telling you like, please God, stop. Like I'm literally going to break. That's like an emergency. That's not supposed to be happening. That's not supposed to be our normal cue to stop eating,
Huh.
right?
Yeah, I
Normal feelings.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, but that's kind of what we rely on because we have so many processed foods in our diet that we don't get the normal cue, and then it's like, yeah, then we are like super overfull.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that would be like also a big part of culture surrounding diet. Like think about every holiday you go to, Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
all of these things.
eat till
Stuff
you're
your face. That's what
yeah.
they're all about.
Right. And a lot of those foods are indeed like processed, really like refined carbs
Mhm.
and sugars, right? So normal feelings of fullness and satiety are caused by hormones that get released when we eat foods that we've evolved to eat. All right. I can name them if you want. Peptide, 𝐬𝐻-𝐿P1. There's another one that's harder to pronounce. But that's what's
Oh,
normally supposed to happen.
okay. Okay. So what does this mean for those of us who want it in English?
I'm not sure if I can translate it to English. So processed foods don't stimulate the release of those hormones, right? Those are messengers that tell your body like, hey, that's enough. Right. So our brain doesn't release those hormones because it recognizes you basically haven't fed yourself anything of value. And so your brain is like, you're eating, but you're still not getting the right stuff. You're not getting what you need. So keep eating. That's what your brain starts doing. I see you're eating, but we're not getting what we need. So keep it going. And I'm going to get deeper into that as well.
Sure.
So
Yeah, this is something I've done talks on previously in other various groups and stuff. It's how food actually affects our brain and our mood and our energy and our motivation and you
right,
know
right. So that's more of the long-term
top to
thing.
bottom. Right. Yeah. But also like as well as I do, if even if you have this is something I struggle with, even if you have just a little bit of something that's ultra processed, it slows you down. It
Right,
slows you down big time
right.
mentally and therefore physically.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's important to recognize as well is those longer term effects of eating foods like that.
Mhm.
And there's a lot to talk about. I think we're planning another
Yeah,
talk about
we can definitely make that into another
that
one.
a little more specifically because it's its own topic and understanding what's going on, things like,
Yeah,
kind
because it's
of
big.
the gut biome and how that affects our mental state, our emotional state. And there is
Mhm.
very heavy science behind that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
yeah,
we'll do another one on those things, yeah.
yeah. So I want to make sure that that point makes sense though. So that's like kind of your classic, like when people say empty calories, right? That's really what that means. And I don't think we really understood it fully until kind of recently. So, if you're watching right now and that makes sense, you understand that, please put empty calories in the chat so we hear you. All right.
Empty calories.
Empty calories. All right.
Okay, so what can our plan of attack here be? What can we tell our people who are watching, listening?
What can we
What,
do?
what can,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, what can we
We
tell them
always
to do?
always like to have some sort of action we can take. And
Yeah.
this one is a little bit tough for me. Like we're really like kind of the anti-restriction guys, right? Like it's very important. I love this. Maria and Lisa, thank you. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. I hope that does make sense. It's all in the brain. So yeah, we're definitely not like abstinence guys. We're not like, like there are some programs out there like FA that are like, you just never eat that stuff. And that's how you deal with it. And I think that food is too important in our cultures and our lives and how we celebrate. I think it's okay to have those things in your diet here and there, but that's really it. So number one, cutting down sugars, especially. Okay, sugars are huge. That's like kind of the number one refined processed food that we have way too much of in our diet. Cutting it down doesn't necessarily mean out completely, but especially in drinks, because that is like mainlining sugar. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a second about that. Cutting down the processed carbs as well. So more than anything, like refined flours, especially, because that stuff has just been decimated, like mechanically and chemically most of the
Yeah,
time. So your
I
body is just
know.
like, doesn't even feel that, right?
Yeah.
So definitely your brain's not recognizing that. So those are kind of the big ones. And then here's the other one. Stop or cut down on snacking. Okay, especially the processed carbs. We get a lot of that, right? Like that's been kind of common advice, right? Oh, eat like 6 meals a day, or or eat between meals. Kind of always
don't eat at all.
Yeah, and
one or the
that's
other.
on the other side of it, right? This is all about balance, right? For us, that's like our secret to life, right? Is balancing these things, right? So, and the thing about the snacking really is that there's a lot of evidence that processed carbs and sugars activate our limbic system, our reward system in our brains. So when you start eating them, even in small amounts, like a little snack, it turns on that reward system, that same system that is associated with addiction. And it tells you like, ooh, eat more, whatever that was. We want more of that. So even if you do manage to like kind of control your snack, okay, that was nice, that was fine. Our brain is in the mood now, right? You've awakened the monster, and that's the first thing it's going to want at your next meal as well.
Yeah. Hence my my sugar problem.
Right. It's very much tied to addiction. It's very interesting. It's another thing that I've studied a lot of. So pair that with the fact that there are no satiety, stop eating, you've had enough hormones going on, and it becomes impossible to control. And then knowing what we know about insulin causing weight gain, those snacks keeping that insulin level up all the time, right? Instead of boom, bringing it back down, no insulin, then up again. And, it's kind of supposed to be peaks and valleys with insulin. But if we're snacking, it's always peaks. It's just constantly up, right? So that's kind of the and to put it together, right? Processed carbs raise blood sugars. Elevated blood sugars raise insulin. Insulin causes weight gain. It's really kind of the root cause of weight gain. Yeah. So now you're talking about quite literally a recipe for disaster. That's what's happening. So I hope all that makes sense. I know it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually, man, I gotta tell you, I'm like I'm like, break it down as simply as possible. And I felt that was pretty good. Right. So if
I know I get a little too sciencey with you sometimes.
Well, it's good to be sciencey and I get it all, but even on the outside, I've tried to put myself on the outside, and I think that was pretty good. Would everybody agree? Would everybody else out there agree? If you're watching, let us know if it was good.
I hope that makes sense.
We'd like to know.
And if it doesn't, if that's over your head a little bit, I get it, because it's this is all just the stuff that I know, and
these are things we've all absorbed over the years, and this is what our lives are, right? I mean,
right. And I'm like, here, digest that in 20 seconds. But so if you have questions about that, totally, please, ask us those questions. Reach out. We're literally here for that in the group. Send us a message. We'll answer your questions, or ask it in the group. Ask it, in the just make a post in the group. If you have a question about something, we'll answer that stuff. So I hope that was useful. Nick, thank you for the feedback. I didn't really run that by you before we got started. So everyone
behind the ball for it seems like a week and a half now, but
we're
getting caught up. We're getting there.
You were out of town, and coaches need vacations too. So let's get out of here, you guys. Like I said, I hope that makes sense. Please shoot us a message if it didn't, or make a post in the group. That is, if you're new here, that's exactly what this group is for. We want you to reach out. We want you to ask the questions. We want you to especially lift each other up, like we always say. And I usually leave it on that. So keep coming back, keep asking the questions, keep lifting each other up and supporting each other. And we love you. We'll see you in the group, and we'll see you next week.
100% agree. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.